you know, I want this playstyle. I just grab this package and go.
Rescue,
And then
so
later on, you're like, okay, I
defense.
like that, but I want to noodle a little bit. You can hop in and create your own packages.
You know, that kind of, it really, people can see that through the default loadouts. And we've packaged in, based on those kind of player behaviors we were talking about earlier.
You could run
we
too with
usually
them?
ship 6 or 5
that's tough.
default loadouts.
It's all up in the way now. Let me get some space now. We don't feel a threat. Thought I told you I've been coming for your neck. There's some shit you won't forget.
Coming to life, to hear Jeff jump into, you know, breaking down the 1v1. And personally for me, water. Our water, I've seen the memes, we love water. It's really hard to make in games.
Wait, you could swim in this COD?
In the aquatic combat, some of the things you're able to do with vehicles in the water, I think that level of immersion is really going to speak to
tell me you could
fans,
swim in this game now.
I really enjoyed playing last couple months.
Aquatic combat. Steph loves to swim.
This would be like
Joe,
the first COD you swim in too. I ain't going.
Water-based adventures in
Why?
Mw2?
Yeah, I mean, last game we really wanted to add water, and we knew we didn't have time, right? So in Verdansk, we froze the rivers and we made the outskirts just to kill trigger. In this game, as soon as we started Modern Warfare 2, we leaned into water, both visually, beautiful caustics, there's waves.
Can you swim though?
But we also, the gameplay side, there's unique ballistics underwater. You only can use certain weapons underwater. Your pistol is your weapon underwater. Otherwise, you can't use your primary weapons. But it's also a nice cover or evasion mechanic. If you're getting shot at, you can dive into the water, and as you get deeper, it gets murkier. Like the farther you are from something, you can't see it. And so it's been super fun for us to dig into water and really
fighting?
flex on what water could be.
Yo, that's
and
fire.
You saw the boats and the mine that floats, and every piece of equipment has been filtered. Like, how does it work through water? Like, we had to look at everything in the game and say, how does it work in water? What's the best version?
Our vehicles will just slowly submerge. They really would, instead of blinking out.
Yeah, everything.
A lot of details.
The behaviors are awesome.
Oh my God! Well, I can't quite wait to literally dip my toes into those waters.
And even though we're a military shooter, fluid movement is super important to us. So this game, as you saw in the trailer, you can see here on the video, we have a new ledge hang mechanic, and that's essentially a high mantle. But instead of doing a high mantle and throwing yourself up over into combat, you can now
That's fire too.
You have a pistol, you can pull that pistol
high
out
mantling?
and use that.
That's crazy.
We also added a dive. You know, last game we had the slide that kept your gun up, but we really wanted players to have an option where if they're getting shot at, they can get down, get out of fire.
No, that's
the
fire
other really
too.
cool thing is the dive's just high enough to let you get through a window. And so if you throw a grenade up into a building's second story, often you'll see players, you know, like rats leaving a ship, diving out through the windows. And it's just another option for players in combat. A car airbag going off. And it faces the person that triggered it, and so it's a great distraction technique. You can also fire it off with a clacker if you want to control when it goes off. You can throw it in water, and here you just saw the DDOS. We added all this equipment into this game, and the DDoS is our kind of answer of like, hey, I'm going to breach this building. I want to go clean house, but I don't want to deal with all the shit inside. So I'm going to hit the DDoS. Boom, it's going to shut down everything, and I can move in, and clear that room. You saw the heartbeat sensor is back. It's got a new look. But it also has a battery as a balancing mechanic, so you can't use it indefinitely in Warzone. And there's so
This is
much
the TAC cam too, which you guys just saw, which to me is a personal favorite.
Can't abuse the heartbeats. Love to hear that.
You can patch into your teammates.
That's a W.
So
got a battery.
Yeah, kind of like a sticky
fire.
GoPro,
That's
but
fire.
will actually mark your enemies for your team.
Yeah.
So I expect to see a lot of fun.
There's so many
with that today.
So many toys and new tools that we just want players to get in and play with. I think there's something like 13 field upgrades, you know, between Warzone and Core MP, and it's pretty awesome.
More content to get through, but there's one more thing I have to bring up. I have the honor of officially announcing that third-person view is finally coming to Modern Warfare 2. What are the details behind this one? We got a little teaser of it on stage from Patrick.
They have
a little hint of it in the trailer too. It's been a pet project for us, right? We've always wanted to do third person, and all while we're working on all this other stuff, we've been kind of lifting up and doing third person in each mode. And the cool thing is that it's a modifier on our game, right? We can just turn on third person. In the beta, we're playing it in Hardpoint, but we want to try it post-launch in S&D. We want to try it in BR.
Third person.
And we have, you know, camera work. The camera collision's been reworked.
Just the third person
spaces. There's a water camera. There's an interior camera. You can feel the weapon shake when you're firing with it, and it's just, we've put a lot of work into it, and we're excited for people to give it a try.
It's a W
I
ad,
can't wait to see what third-person COD feels like in 2022.
Word, Miles.
This is a lot of information, Steph. Like, there's a ton here.
Aesthetics fan, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button to help your boy out. would be appreciated. The third-person mode looked way better than I expected. It looked like it's going to be a nice change of pace. It's going to be fun, something different to play. I'm looking forward to playing it.
Working on since 2020 with teams across the globe. It brings together our philosophies on map design. It brings together new technologies in order to do it, and lots of artwork to make it happen. And we've learned so much from players experiencing Verdansk and playing in Verdansk over the first few years of Warzone, and we're really excited for them to land in Al Mazrah with their squad. There's a wide variety of points of interest for players to explore in this map, and we're really looking forward to seeing everybody in there.
Well, here we go, a brand new map to explore and traverse. I cannot wait. Stephanie, let's take a look.
That's right, Miles. Welcome to Al Mazrah. This is our new map for Warzone 2.0. It is a really interesting mix of geography. It is expansive desert settings with a mix of industrial areas, towns, a city, and of course water. It looks way better on this screen than it did on Twitter.
Hey, yo,
but you're gonna find a lot of really cool elevation, rocky peaks, caves, subterranean spaces. This map is beautiful, and it's actually the biggest VR map that we've ever made. And I am so excited for all of our streamers here to jump into Al Mazrah later today.
It's huge. Look at the size of that thing. Okay, so that was a big picture, and it's a great way to see it from a sort of top-down layout. But let's take a better look at some of these points of interest.
So when we set out to create these spaces, the team works to make it feel like a real space, right? So that there's infrastructure in between all the different, what we call points of interest along the map.
Worry look like mine ain't landing
see
there.
A few that seem pretty familiar out there as well. And so as the team works through these, they're trying to find some variety on each point of interest to make them something that the players will want to drop in and get the particularity of that single point of interest and find the place that they want to drop and where they want to play, whether it be a high elevation observatory at the center of the map, whether it be the big city that's up the top right, and whether they want to explore that, or whether they want to work in some of our POIs where we have water intersecting with geometry here. So we have in this one...
Ooh, that looks familiar.
And there's a river system that goes through all of this. So you'll be able to catch in a boat and drive between the different POIs. And here's one of our favorites, Sawa Village, which is...
That's my favorite.
Colloquially called Sunken Town.
I mean, I love to swim, so you find me there.
Absolutely.
I'm curious what you guys think, Jack and Joe, on what the hot drop will...
That's our looting. If you need health items, you can hit a bathroom in a building, and there'll be a medicine cabinet. You can open it up. If you want to get loadout items, there are these hidden caches throughout in between the POIs that are in ground, and you can memorize where they are because they're always there. So you can kind of start to develop these paths through the map of how you loot. And there's this logic applied to looting. You know, you can find toolboxes that'll have grenades and things in them. And you find these other crates that are kind of like, it's as if the military that occupied the space came through and dropped off military items. Those crates are always there, so you can always have this reliable layer to looting.
Incredible. This sounds
They might have to change that. I ain't gonna lie.
Al Mazrah and quite literally like have a route we plan, hit the gas station, gas up, pick up snacks, pick up ammo and all sorts. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so what about circle
about
mechanics? I mean, this is obviously
not having random like loadouts.
Yeah, I mean, the circle's been a staple of BRs. It's been really hard to move away from it. So we kind of talked about what could we do to mix things up with the circle. So we've got this new mechanic where the circle can actually split, almost like a cell splits into 2, 3, or even 4 circles.
Oh, I like that.
And
I like that.
Those circles kind of close down.
Can't read circles fully. I like that.
You have these micro battles in those circles, and at a certain point, you're like, okay, we've cleared out our circle. We think we're good. And then those circles merge. They come back together, and you have this very directed fight of like, as the circle's moving, you're like gearing up in buildings. You're like, here we go. It's about to kick off. And as soon as those circles hit, you have that final fight. So it's another kind of like twist in the gameplay
I like
that we feel like is a cool world event that would happen. Like, all the circles splitting, we need to do X.
Crazy. Get in the car. We're going now. Go.
On your phone. For the first time ever, you can drop into Call of Duty Warzone from wherever life takes you. Let me quickly point out the gameplay you're seeing today is still alpha, so it's only going to get better. And for Warzone fans, you will recognize this drop sequence right away.
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, honestly, it just gives me so much nostalgia. But wait a minute, Chris. Is that the legendary Verdansk?
Yo, they
this is where Warzone gameplay was born. And we're bringing the legendary Verdansk map to mobile for the very first time from its hallmark vistas and these dense urban areas. They're just so much fun to play in. Wide open fields, ready for battle. and intimate, close quarters, combat environments. There's so much variety in Verdansk. It's famous for good reason. Teaming with fan favorite locations like Boneyard and Superstore.
Yo,
Even
that's
TV
crazy.
station.
Well, I'm getting classic Call of Duty Warzone flashbacks here. Can you tell us more about the gameplay? Or, you know what, maybe just give me your phone real quick. Maybe I can see for myself. No?
You know, the team has a passion for delivering the most authentic Call of Duty experience possible for mobile devices. From the way you aim and move to the weapon handling and the control responsiveness, all these critical little details combined to make Call of Duty Warzone mobile feel best in class. We've made sure that the physics, the feedback, the sights and sounds, all those essential little touches are smooth and accurate. It's about creating an experience that's so true to form, you can imagine feeling that dirt compressing under the soles of your boots with every move. Or imagine those tiny shockwaves of recoil moving through your entire body with every shot. In Warzone Mobile, these are the kind of details that we care about that make the combat feel airtight and authentic.
So the map definitely looks way clearer, which is good. That's a W. That was a big problem with Caldor in the beginning, so I'm glad that they took this route. Shout out to Infinity Ward for that.
I kind of want to drop near one of like the central hotspots, like surrounded by water. It looks like I'm in like Venice or something, or
and like Maven said, like it's gonna be crazy, these fights with everything being separated by water and players being able to swim in the water, fight in the water, and everything is gonna be a game changer. And it should be so fun.
Those at home can't see, but Mr. Evans is very excited. Here we go, the first boots have touched ground, and let's find out what exactly. Again, everything's changed. Loot has changed.
All new. I mean, we saw earlier, it's like loadout or high loot spots. It's going to have AI around it that you have to kill.
Dude, I thought maybe fall damage there. That was maybe the
I think he did. No, he did. Definitely did.
The loot change is interesting.
Looks a little bit different in the UI when you open it up.
Okay.
Oh, you can pick what you
And like
want.
Ali said, like you can kind of like pick from a list, which is like
when you open it, like it's a list.
it's fire now. You can actually like read it a little bit better. And I like how weapons are like more spread out and they're not like scattered all over the ground how it was in last Warzone.
Sometimes have like gotten me killed. Because there's so much loot on the ground. There's like somebody laying in there. It
And the whole first aid kit thing is cool too.
Whoa, that's the first aid kit on the wall.
Overall, the reveal was a good look. They definitely answered some questions a lot of people had with the whole like slide canceling and everything. But who else other than Nick to clutch up to get the first W on Warzone 2? Shout out to Nick Merckx and the M-Fam. But definitely gonna be looking forward to a lot of things coming for the new Call of Duty to try out, especially with the beta this weekend. PlayStation beta starts tomorrow, September the 16th. For PlayStation users, and then you got the open betas and the other consoles coming out next weekend too, so and the weekend after, so looking forward to try that out. But got a lot of things coming: the medium mantle, the high mantling, all that, the water fighting, the battery change, and the heartbeats. Definitely looking forward to that. We got the PlayStation consoles getting the only skin, to the proximity chats, to the loadout change, all that. Definitely looking forward to trying all that in the new Call of Duty once it drops. And make sure, if y'all don't already, like I mentioned earlier in the video, like and subscribe.
And all the windows are built to be diving.
Slide don't look that bad, I ain't gonna lie.
That's what Joe was kind of saying, right? Like, they're seeing so much play testing, and he goes into a window, like, everyone spins it out.
The slide don't look that bad, yo.
Oh, here we go. Butter's going to be sniping there. That's the, so we have the Hurricane. She's running overkill. That's going to be one of the M4 platforms. And the sniper.
There go the dive right there.
Look.
There we go. Testing things out. Trying to find the sneakiest, fastest way across the map.
I couldn't. I was trying to see if I could break the slide.
Oh.
No slide
well, that works out. Yeah, look at her
Little
face.
dive.
She's just like going around testing
Little dive.